What's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of my new show, Warning Track Power, where we'll be doing some daily Major League Baseball recap. Please don't judge me for broadcasting from what looks like the inside of a decrepit log cabin. I did not plan to spend this much time on camera when I set up my desk, and if you would be so kind as to do the like and subscribe thing, that would be very much appreciated. So let's get started. The number one thing happening in the baseball world right now, Fernando Tatis Jr. gets a 14-year, $340 million contract. It is absolutely absurd for a 22-year-old that hasn't even played 162 games yet. But I love this deal for him. I love this deal for the Padres. He's the most electrifying player in Major League Baseball, and he plays for the most electric team in baseball. Locking him up long-term was the biggest no-brainer in Padres history, and I am so excited to watch his career unfold in San Diego. And speaking of the San Diego Padres, Justin Turner, after re-signing with the Los Angeles Dodgers, took the opportunity to express how excited he was for this rivalry to bloom, and he says that they are going to get 19 World Series caliber games out of this series in 2021. I could not possibly be more excited. The Padres and the Dodgers have the two best starting rotations in all of baseball. That is defending champions versus the most exciting team in baseball. This is going to be an absolutely incredible year for NL West baseball, and I can't wait to stay up until 1 o'clock in the morning watching every single one of those games. Brett Gardner and the Yankees are going to be reuniting for the 2021 season after they inked a $4 million deal, which will include a team option for 2022, which could get Gardner up to $11 million over the life of this contract. It was looking pretty bleak for the return of Gardner after the Yankees signed Justin Wilson earlier this week. But I mean, who had any doubts that Brett Gardner was going to return to the Yankees? He's going to be serving as the fourth outfielder behind Clint Frazier as the starting left fielder. He'll provide some nice defensive depth, and there's still a lot to like about Gardner at the plate. He's still an above-average hitter, and it just wouldn't feel right for him to end his Yankees career in front of zero fans due to COVID-19. The Yankees also secretly signed Derek Dietrich this offseason. His name appeared on the spring training non-roster invitee list, and it's only of note because the Rays also signed Chris Archer this offseason. And if you recall, Chris Archer and Derek Dietrich were the main characters in one of the best baseball brawls that I have ever seen, which gave us the Renaissance image of Yasiel Puig going up against a sea of yellow Pirates jerseys all by himself. And it's worth noting that the Yankees and the Rays have beef going back a couple years. We remember 2 years ago, the CC Sabathia "that's for you, bitch" incident. Even last year, Aroldis Chapman throwing at Mike Brousseau, and then Mike Brousseau getting the better of him later in the year. This is going to be something to watch next year. If a brawl breaks out, if a brawls are even allowed to break out due to COVID-19 regulations, who knows? But we are going to be paying close attention if Dietrich ever gets in the lineup against Chris Archer again. Rockies pitcher Kyle Freeland had some pretty strong quotes to start the year off with. He thinks that his Colorado Rockies are going to shock the world this year and be a good team. I got to be honest, I don't see it after trading Nolan Arenado. And you have talks about trading Trevor Story as well, Charlie Blackmon. I mean, there are a lot of people who are going to want out of that team when they have 70 wins. This is not a good baseball team. If you really wanted to shock the world, if you really thought your team was capable of winning games, you probably wouldn't have traded Nolan Arenado, the single best third baseman in all of baseball. And out west, Shohei Ohtani is finally throwing bullpens again for the Los Angeles Angels. His velocity was up to 90 miles per hour this week, which is a great sign because the Angels would love to have him back on the mound to be their ace. Right now, Dylan Bundy is scheduled to go on opening day. That is not a good sign if you are a Los Angeles Angels fan, that Dylan Bundy is the staff ace. You just can't have that. He had a pretty nice 2020 season, but there is no reason to believe that those stats are going to be reliable and hold up through 2021. Beyond that, Alex Cobb, Andrew Heaney, Griffin Canning, there is not a lot to like about this Angels rotation. And at this point, we're just wasting years of Mike Trout's career. So either the Angels do something to fix the rotation, or we're never going to see Mike Trout in the playoffs again. For now, we'll have to settle for Shohei Ohtani being back on the mound. Hopefully, he's going to get through spring training healthy, because when he is fully healthy, there is not a single person in Major League Baseball who can do what he can do. Trevor Rosenthal and Mitch Moreland are heading to the Oakland Athletics. Trevor Rosenthal is going to be a nice replacement for Liam Hendriks. He kind of fell off in his career over the past few years, but really found himself in San Diego last year. He's gassing 100. He's striking guys out. It is an absolutely fantastic addition to a pretty good bullpen already. Mitch Moreland, on the other hand, should be a nice replacement for Chris Davis. He's going to crush righties, and he's going to play some DH, maybe spell Matt Olson at first. Two really good late additions for the Oakland A's, and they should be the favorite to win the American League West again. Trevor Bauer and Noah Syndergaard are getting into some Twitter beef tonight after Noah commented on the way Trevor Bauer selected the Los Angeles Dodgers in his free agency sweepstakes. This is the exact kind of content that MLB needs more of on social media. I don't particularly love Trevor Bauer or Noah Syndergaard, but there is absolutely no denying that this kind of attention for the game gets people going on Twitter. And speaking of the New York Mets, Taiwan Walker is heading to New York on a 2-year deal. He is going to solidify the back end of that starting rotation. Jacob deGrom will obviously be the best pitcher in Major League Baseball again. I don't think there's any reason to doubt that. Alongside Carlos Carrasco, Marcus Stroman, at some point Noah Syndergaard will be returning. This is one of the best rotations in Major League Baseball, and they should have no problem matching up with the other elite rotations like the Dodgers and the Padres. Right now, I think I would still give the Atlanta Braves a slight edge in the division. According to the PECOTA rankings, the Mets are going to run away with it, and the Braves are going to finish at 500. I don't buy that at all. That's an absurd prediction for the team that won the National League East last year. Regardless, this is going to be a really tough division, and having this strong and this deep of a rotation is going to help the Mets walk into the 2021 postseason. And in perhaps the most satisfying news of the week, Tim Tebow announced that he would be retiring from professional baseball. Good. I am done with Tim Tebow. Fuck Tim Tebow. I don't want to see another batting practice home run highlight that MLB Network and ESPN go crazy over, and they say, oh, maybe this is the year that Tim Tebow is finally going to make it to the major leagues. Stop that. He was never going to make it to the major leagues. He's a career 223 hitter. He got put in AA immediately so that he could sell merch, got moved up to AAA just so he could sell merch. He took other people's jobs. I mean, good for him for trying to pursue his dream of playing baseball after a pretty lackluster football career. But at the end of the day, he was not on equal footing with the people around him. He got advantages and opportunities that should have gone to other people. I am just glad that the charade is finally over. Tim Tebow is done with baseball. He can just spend the rest of his life doing college football analysts on ESPN and CBS and wherever. It's a pretty cushy life. I don't feel very bad for Tim Tebow washing out of the game of baseball. That's going to do it for episode 1. If you made it to the very end, congratulations, because you sat through the worst that this show is ever going to be. It is the first time I've ever tried to do a solo show, so it can only get better from here. Thank you again for tuning in, and subscribe because I am doing this every single day until the end of the baseball season. I'm just happy that spring training is finally back. The crack of the bat, the pop of the glove. It is a beautiful time to be a baseball fan, and we are heading towards an awesome 2021 season. So again, subscribe, check back tomorrow. See ya.